Hey, how's it going, guys? Jackson here with the Toasty Bros, and today I'm going to be doing the version, I believe it's version 3, because I've done so many versions of this, of my garage setup. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so here's my favorite part about the new setup is I got some new tool carts, but I'm going to show you guys those after we make our way from the front to the back so that we can go in order. So to start off, everything's not perfectly clean. I kind of wanted to show you guys what it's like, kind of just like on a daily basis. I usually try to keep it fairly clean, but I usually have some projects going on. So this right here is a carburetor off of my 73 Charger. It's actually a Quadrajet 4-barrel, and we just replaced it with a new Edelbrock carburetor, which I might show you guys the that carburetor. But so that one's kind of taken apart, and we're going to rebuild it and try to sell it because we don't really want it anymore. You can see right here, this is like our wall of, this is mostly my mom's stuff on this side of the wall. And then kind of where the hammers start, that's where it's more of my stuff. You can see we have hammers, channel locks, a fair amount of screwdrivers, magnetic strip with some electrical things on it, some picks. Here's a thing of pencils and pens and markers. Here's a wrench set, kind of going, it's kind of just like a random set. There's some Cobalt and some Craftsman, and it's kind of just going in order. They're all metric, and I have some multiples even. Let's see, over here on the desk, well actually, here, let's go down here. We got a drawer that I made. I don't know if I showed you guys this before. This is kind of like a whole desk I just made off of, I got everything I needed from Lowe's. It's rated, each one of these drawer sliders is rated for around 100 pounds, but as you can see I'm not really utilizing that. And I didn't really finish the drawer either, I kind of just left it open like that. But I kind of like it like that because I can just reach in and grab whatever I want. You can see I have a tool cart down here too. This one was actually free, which I'll tell you guys how I got most of my tool carts for pretty good prices. This one was free. It was actually one of my fellow co-workers. He didn't need it anymore because he has a really big snap-on tool cart, so he just gave me this one, and it works fairly well. The drawers slide pretty good. This one doesn't like to slide that well though. And as you can see, this is where I keep most of my pliers and vice grips and stuff like that. Right down here is where I keep my spray gun and a lot of my sanding equipment. When going back up here, these are all my little drawers of just random things. You can see this one's empty. Like this whole row has just nuts and bolts. I have some of them labeled. I have a lot of electrical stuff in here, like light bulbs and fuses. Up here I have some wire, which I love wire because I use it all the time. See, I have wire cutters up there. Right over here I have a bench grinder, which this is one that I got from Lowe's a really long time ago. It's made by Skill. Go ahead and turn it on for you guys. As you can see, it still works really good. It's really quiet too, which I like that a lot. It doesn't vibrate too much, so it's pretty nice. I have a little power brick right over here, which is actually connected to this power brick, which is connected to the wall. So I have a few power bricks going on just in case I need them, but I don't have a lot of stuff hooked up. Not one of those people. And you can see I have a little anvil right here, which I actually like this one a lot. It swivels 3 different ways. It swivels up here to where you can turn it that way, and it swivels here to where you can turn it 360 that way, and then you can actually clamp it onto whatever surface you're using. Right down here is where we keep the radio. This is actually a pretty nice surround sound system that I got for free. It was brand new too. My grandpa didn't want it, or he didn't know how to set it up, so he gave it to me. And I have there's a speaker there, a speaker right there, a speaker up there, and then it can have up to like, I don't know, 10 speakers and a subwoofer. So and I've used those other places, but so I have a pretty nice little sound system going on. It can get pretty much as loud as I want it to, and so I can listen to music while I work on things. Going over here, we got a refrigerator in the garage, because what garage does not have a refrigerator? Oh, and then let's not forget about the mineral PC. We still got that up there, which we need to do some stuff with that soon. We actually used the SSD in another build, so we got to go back to that. We can check out a video for that on our channel. We did a bunch of videos on it and benchmarking and stuff. Here's where I keep all my extension cords. I have quite a few of them. Some of them are actually even being used in other places right now. There's one that's hooked up. Can crusher. My mom wanted that, so I got her a can crusher. And I have some little posters right here. This one I actually pieced back together. This was my sort of great granddad's golf tips poster that I found in his golf bag because I kind of inherited his golf clubs. So I kind of pieced it back together and then put it on a little Nike box. Felt a little artsy with that. You can see right down here we have my Harbor Freight air compressor, which has actually been giving me some issues. I haven't used it in a while since it's been really cold, but I do plan on using it a lot. in the summer. Now, when I say it's giving me issues, what I keep having happen is this reset switch back here will pop out, as in it stops filling up, and it always fills up the first time all the way. It gets up to the 125 psi, and then works great from there. And then I'll be using it, and then it'll get down to 90 psi, and it'll start filling up again, and then randomly it'll just shut off and hit the reset switch, and it'll sound like it's kind of dying at first. It'll almost be like when it goes to start up, usually you'll hear the engine start to turn, and then it'll just kind of die and the reset will flip. And what I think that could be is because there's too much draw coming through the line here, because I normally have it hooked up to that power brick, which always had worked fine for me. Recently I think that might not be working anymore, so I'll have to see if I can figure that out. You can see here's where I have some of my pneumatic stuff. Here's some of the boxes I have, some of the pneumatic oil, the compressor oil. You can see I have some stainless steel brushes here, which actually no, they're not stainless steel, because you can see we got some rust there, so it's probably carbon steel or something like that, and sorry for hitting the camera there. You can see I have some other random like fittings and stuff like that, and then down here a little toolbox, and this is kind of mostly my mom's stuff, some dust mask and painting stuff mostly. Up here I have my Dremel, which I've had this forever. I got it for, I don't even know, like less than $20 on Amazon, which kind of proved to me that it's actually pretty nice for the price. It kind of proved to me that not all cheap things are bad or anything, which by no means. I believe in buying cheap things. I love Harbor Freight. But I have had their things, some things not work before. Here's kind of like my soldering / stick things together drawer. You can see I have 2 glue guns in here. I have some rosin for soldering. I love this thing. It's one of those Burns-O-Matic like pocket torches or pen torches. And you can get it for Lowe's for, I think, around $20 to $30, and it works great. I mean, you can use it for so many things. I have 2 soldering irons over here. Let's go to the next drawer. This is my grinder drawer. So I'm trying to get this thing from moving. This is actually just like a little Rubbermaid box too, by the way. I have 2 grinders in here that I have all sorts of different wheels for, flap disc, paint grinders, all sorts of things. Then down here is kind of like, I actually forgot I even had this. This is just some sets that I put together with all the extra sockets I had. So I got a couple sets in there if I ever need to use them on the go, which I need to write that down so I don't forget. This is on my bill. I got these from Harbor Freight. These were $6 or $7 because the package was open. So I went up to the guy and I said, hey, why don't you give these to me for a discount since they're open? There could be stuff missing, and I really did think there could be stuff missing, and I wanted something like this, and I figured as long as I get most of them, I'm fine. And I ended up getting all of them. And what I did was I built a little stand for it, which you can see I just took some extra wood I had, and then I bent some brake line and made a little handle at the top. So that's pretty cool that I was able to do that for a pretty cheap price. Here's a little tool cart / box that I built. It is on wheels. Both of these are actually on wheels, which I just built these kind of because I had extra wood from building that desk and all these shelves, which I'll get to in a little bit. And then on all these, I got a lot of stuff on these. So you can see here's most of my air tools. Nail gun, blow gun, air die grinder, whatever you want to call it. A air grinder, I guess you could say, or cut-off wheel. To inflate your tires and everything, and then some of the nails for it. Here's all my assortment packs. I absolutely love these. You can ask a lot of people. I think they come in handy for so many things, and I use them all the time, so I guess they do come in handy. Here's all my sanding paper. And then here's most of my jacks and everything. I actually have 2 bigger jack stands in the shed out back, but that's another story. Here's a Briggs & I think it's a Briggs & Stratton motor that we took apart. It was brand new, but it was blowing white smoke, and my grandpa wanted me to check it. And I kind of took it apart, and now it's still apart. I have not put it back together, but that's because I need to get some gaskets for it, or he needs to get them. So either way, here's some parts for my car. You can see here's a little manual for the 280Z. Here's a little bin I built at the bottom to keep some stuff. And then here's these shelves I got for free from work, and I just bolted them to the wall. It's pretty much all car stuff. It's either to the Charger or my 280Z, so that's what that is. And here's all my boxes. I mean, this is like maybe a quarter of the boxes I've gotten. This is all from stuff that I've bought and put on cars of some kind, either my car or the Charger, more than likely. And here's a new carburetor. I said I'd probably show it to you guys. It's a Edelbrock, I think 650 CFM, and it actually looks really nice. Pretty expensive though. It was like $300. Here's a bandsaw. I actually really like this thing, and this is also Skill brand, which I've actually had some pretty good luck with that brand. It's like I said, I think it's Lowe's brand. I could be wrong, but kind of like Cobalt, I think it's sort of Lowe's brand of power tools possibly. But I like it a lot though, and the blades last forever, and it's pretty small. It was around $120, so if you guys ever looking for a bandsaw, this is a pretty good one. And it can also cut metal if you get the right blade too. And this is actually a tool cart that I also got for free. This was a projector cart, and so it actually has a little power strip on the side, which is really nice. You can see I keep all my welding stuff up here, and then here's my actual Blue Hawk welder, which can do flux and MIG, so I really love this thing, and I do a lot of stuff with it. Alright, so now we're to the other side of the garage. Sorry if that took me forever, but maybe for the people who like this kind of stuff, it's pretty entertaining. So here's all my cleaning supplies, mainly for cars like that. You can see I have like some polishes and stuff like that up there. Some different types of waxes and cleaners, nothing too advanced. Here's my little stepping ladder, which this thing comes, you'd be surprised how many times you use one of these when you actually get a ladder, which I'd like a taller ladder too, because I used to have some of them. They were my grandpa's, and he ended up taking them back, so now I don't. That's the tallest ladder I own. Here's my little trash can. Here is a creeper, which this one I like a good amount. It's just a Duralast one. It's around $30 at AutoZone, but then I wanted to show you these. These are called Z Creepers. I had never heard of one of these. My mom got them for me for Christmas. They were actually a Groupon. It ended up making them around 20 something a piece. And what these do is these fold out like this, and then there's a pin in the bottom to where you can make them from a seat to a creeper. And they're actually extremely sturdy. I think they support 250 or 300 pounds, something like that. And I mean, they're really good. I mean, they're great to have. They sit really low to the ground, so it's a nice feature. Here's my stepdad's Briggs & Stratton generator, which we've only used a couple times, sadly. It pretty much looks brand new because it kind of is. And it's always been garage kept. You can see here's a hose, this is kind of convenient. It's actually inside the garage, and the line runs inside the garage, so you don't have to worry about it freezing or anything. You can see here is pretty much just all car stuff, all of my paints, and there's more paint, and then here's some more car stuff. I think you guys get the gist of that. And then these shelves I built up here, these were actually kind of my idea, because we did have these shelves that took up all this space right over here, and I mean, it was really hard to even fit a car in here. I can still barely fit a car in here, but so what I ended up doing is building these shelves, and they're a little over, I think maybe 6.5 or 7 feet tall, so they're kind of like the perfect height, unless I have Jordan come in here or something like that, which I don't even know if he's that tall. You know, I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, they're pretty good height though, and you know, you have to worry about hitting your head on them or anything, and you can stand under them all you want. And I have put plenty of stuff on them that was in the way before. You can see here's some of my sheet metal and some buckets. The sheet metal is for doing welding and stuff like that, especially on the body panels we were doing on the Charger. And now to kind of like the newest part of this video, I think, is my new toolboxes. So I'll go ahead and explain from, I guess, date of purchase. So this one I got from Lowe's, and basically this cart is normally $300, and I can tell you that just by going there. If you go there, you'll see this Cobalt cart, and it's $300 brand new. So this one was new, and you can see he had it $299, and then I remember when I was there another time they had it down for I think $250, and the reason it was so cheap was because, as you saw, there was a dent in the side, which you couldn't even really see in the first place. But what it did was it made it to where the drawers barely open. Like, I mean, you had to grab it with two hands and yank them open. And then what the other thing they did is they put solid casters on it. So instead of the cart being able to turn, it can only go one direction, basically. So you'd have to pick it up. And I kind of looked at it as, you know, I can go on that Harbor Freight for way cheaper. You know, that'll be a lot better than this for the price. And so what I told myself is when I saw it go down to $150 and it had been there for a while, I was like, you know what, if I can tell the guy, if I can say I'll take it for $100 today, then I'll buy it from him. And so that's what I did. I went up to the guy at Lowe's and I said, hey, I'll give you $100 for this today. You know, what do you say? He kind of thought about it for a second and he was like, you know what, that's fine. So I got myself a $100 tool cart that was originally $300, so 66% off, I guess. And that felt pretty good. It has a little power strip in the side with some USB ports, which I already have my Makita drill charger hooked up to. You can see I ended up putting my Craftsman toolbox on top of it and just put a block of wood so it doesn't fall over when I open the drawers. Which this box is really cool. This was also a gift, which I'm kind of realizing I'm pretty privileged to get all this stuff as either gifts or pretty cheap. And you can see that this one, I want to say it was $200 something. My grandpa got this for me for either my last birthday or Christmas. And you can see I really haven't lost anything from it too much yet, which is really hard to do when you have a lot of tools like this. It's hard to keep up with things and not lose them. Even if you don't have a lot of tools, it's really still really hard to keep stuff. But yeah, I have most of the things for it, and I honestly really like this. You know, it sucks that it's plastic and everything, but it has all the tools that I need in, and those are good quality, so who really cares? And then the Cobalt toolbox, I'll kind of show you what I got in here. This is kind of like my ratcheting drawer, and it has sockets and stuff like that. I just got this from Harbor Freight, and I want to say that I got it at 20% off, and I paid like, I don't know, $16 or $17 for it. And I mean, this thing is great. It comes with standard and metric. It comes with huge sizes too. It comes with up to 7/8 and up to a 22 in metric, which I didn't even have those sizes, and I'm always needing them, and I have to use like a pipe wrench or something like that. But now I have them, and this thing is 72 clicks or 72 teeth, and I mean, it's super smooth. And the same thing with this one. This is also Harbor Freight. This one bends in multiple directions, and I got my cord wrapped there. And this one is also 72 teeth. And I can just tell you from people's reactions, I've had people actually come over and, who are used to like Snap-on and Matco, and they will use this and hear the 72 teeth, and they're actually pretty impressed. Just a Duralast set. There's actually a little torque wrench I got from Harbor Freight back there, which I really like that. It's the 1/2-inch one. Here's most of my wrenches. This is a Harbor Freight Pittsburgh kit. I gotta admit, looking at them, they're not pretty. The Craftsman, I mean, yeah, they're chromed out and everything, but I said Craftsman, I meant Pittsburgh. Looking at them, they're just really not that pretty. They are chromed out, but you can see they have this big, ugly logo on the side, which doesn't look that great. And the wording in general is just kind of ugly, and they don't look like they. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. They're not incredibly shiny or anything. They don't weigh a lot. I don't want to say that they necessarily feel cheap because I haven't had one break on me yet or anything, but I guess that's kind of to be tested. So, and there's some other like flare nut and some other random things in there. This is a gear wrench set that I kind of got for free. This is my stepdad's. He got it for a birthday present, and he doesn't really use tools a lot, so I ended up kind of just putting it in here, and if he ever needs them, he uses them. But this is actually a really nice set. They're actually gear wrench brand, and they have really good clicking action, so I like them a lot. And it's normally pretty expensive to get one of these sets, so I'm glad that I was happy that I got it kind of for free. Here's my Makita drill. I did a whole video on this, and I just got a little cheap drill kit to go with it, and I love this drill though, just saying. And I did a whole separate video on that, so if you want to see that, check it out. And now to the Craftsman one. This one I got on Craigslist. I paid $250 for it, which, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't say I got a great deal on it or anything, but I think I got a good deal. Just due to the fact that I really like the cart, and both of them made in USA. They're both in extremely good condition. This one is stamped in 2000, so it was made in 2000, so it's about 16 years old. And then this one is even older. The guy told me it's a good amount older, so I kind of feel cool, getting vintage Craftsman stuff like this, or at least it's somewhat vintage. I know that they go back like way back in time, but everything's made out of metal. There's no plastic on it. They all came lined and everything. The guy had all the keys for him and some extra keys. All the drawers, like, none of them have any problems. They're not ball bearing though, but they are. I made sure I put WD-40 on them and everything, and they slide really smooth, so that's good. And the wheels work really good, and it has a pretty good carrying capacity too. So, like I said, $250 was not too bad. I know at Harbor Freight they do have one on sale that's like $150 something, and it's about. I'd say it's a little bit shorter than this one, maybe the same height. And the only thing I like about this one more though is it's a lot wider. The Harbor Freight one is a lot skinnier than this one, and it's also, it's Harbor Freight. There's some things you have to take pride in. And I feel like a tool cart, being Craftsman and everything, it kind of feels good. It's just not having a Harbor Freight one. But like I said, Harbor Freight is very good. I don't really know where I'm going with that. And you can see here's my two vacuums. This one I got from Harbor Freight on sale, and then this one was a Black Friday deal. And I like this one a lot. This one's like a limited edition supposedly, but who really cares? It works really good though. It's a 5-gallon vacuum. This one's a 1 or 2 gallon, and they both work really good though. The Harbor Freight one's actually a little bit louder than this one. It's something I don't like, and I'd say this one has a lot more power. So, alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we don't usually do a lot of stuff like this because we're more of a tech channel, but I hope you guys do enjoy me putting random things in like this every so often at least. And we will keep the tech stuff coming, of course, so hope you guys have a good day.